Hi everybody, this is Chris, and today I'm really excited to share with you a little bit about how the Turnitin LTI app works inside of Canvas. As you may or may not know, Turnitin has been planning to shut down their old API, their legacy API integration with Canvas, because they've developed a much more efficient and better way to share data between the two systems in conjunction with Canvas. So we have that turned on now at HBUHSD, and we're ready to start the school year with it. So let's dive in and look at how you as a teacher need to set up your assignments now. Okay, so what I've done is prepared a Google slide deck for this, and you're free to access and share these slides with anyone you'd like. You can access these by going to bit.ly/Canvas Turnitin LTI, and that's shown on this first slide and at the bottom of the second slide. So why use Turnitin with Canvas? I believe this is a great example of, you have two products that are fine on their own and they're good products, but you then put them together and it's a case where the product is more than the sum of the individual parts because they work in conjunction with each other, and this will give you a lot more flexibility and make it easier for your students to use as well. All right, let's go over some of the advantages of the new LTI integration. Number one, nobody ever has to make Turnitin accounts again. So that includes students, that includes faculty. You don't need to worry about forgetting a password or logging into a separate system. It's automatically handled with the single sign-on through Canvas. Number two, you can have it all. You could use the tools in Turnitin.com and you could use the tools in Canvas, and they both work. Number three, you can grade it your way and give feedback your way. So if you wanted to give feedback using SpeedGrader in Canvas, you can do that, and you can see the originality report right inside of Canvas. If you wanted to use Turnitin's new Feedback Studio and grade over there, you can, and the grades will, and the feedback will get to your students, and the grade will be passed back automatically into the Canvas Gradebook. So it's super cool. It also has Google Drive and Dropbox submission integration, which I know the old legacy API version of the Turnitin integration with Canvas did not. So that's an added plus. Some things you got to watch out for, be aware of with the new LTI integration. I guess you can say these are cons, but maybe not, just maybe pain points or things to be aware of, is students can only submit one file per assignment. Using the multiple due dates or differentiated due dates in Canvas will break the date sync between Canvas and Turnitin, so you probably don't want to do that. It doesn't work for group assignments in Canvas because of external URL assignments not being able to do that in Canvas right now. And then you want to be really careful about changing rubrics after the students have submitted work. Not a good idea, so be aware of that. There's also a Turnitin iPad app that you can use. If you want to use that, you can, but just be aware that when you do use that, the actual score will not transfer back from the iPad app to Canvas. And that is something that Turnitin and Canvas are aware of, and I believe they are working on a solution together. So let's get going on how we set this up. So number one, you're going to create a new assignment in Canvas. I'm going to go through this quickly because I think most people watching this have created an assignment in Canvas before. So you're going to go over to assignments, you'll hit the plus assignment button, and then you get something that looks like this. So for this assignment, I just called it Turnitin Demo. You're going to set the submission type. Now this is the secret sauce right here. You want to set the submission type to external tool. And then once you do that, you're going to click on the Find button as shown in number 2. A window will pop up like this, and this is all your external tools that you have configured in your course and in your instance of Canvas. You want to scroll down till you find the Turnitin LTI app. And then once you do that, you're gonna hit select. Then you'll be brought back to the assignment. Finish setting up the assignment options like the due date, and if you want it available from or until you can put that in there. I'd recommend not doing that. and then go ahead and save and publish it, or just save it. Once you save it, now you're going to be able to see a different view inside of Canvas. And now it's time to customize your Turnitin settings. So when we save it, Canvas turns into this, and you actually see basically a Turnitin widget inside of Canvas now for that assignment. And if you click on the settings, you'll be taken to something that looks like this. Now notice all the gray arrows here, the points, the max grade, the title, the start date, the due date, the feedback release date, that all came over automatically from Canvas to Turnitin. And now you're seeing it back in Canvas again. So Canvas transferred all that information for you. If you want to make changes there, you can, but I would suggest you don't, hopefully. Next, there's a whole list of options. Where do you want the student submissions to go to? Do you want it to go into the repository for the institution, or the big Turnitin repository, or not go in at all? And how many words do you want to count for a match, and things like that. Even if you're a seasoned Turnitin user, they're always changing things. So I would recommend going to this guide that I have linked right here, and just click on it, and it should take you there. And that guide will go over all of these options. So spend some time in the guide and look at the options. And then the best thing of all is this last question: would you like to save these options as a default for future assignments? Yes, because you're going to go through all that work and configure everything, and you don't want to have to start over every time you do this. So I would suggest yes on that. Okay, so now you've got your Turnitin settings set up, your assignment set up. So now students are going to be turning it in. And so now you're going to be watching the student submissions come in, and then you'll be able to give them feedback and scores in multiple ways. So once student submissions start coming in, you'll see their names, and you'll see when they uploaded it, and you'll see some originality metrics and color coding here. One thing that I would recommend, especially if you're working on a small screen, is that you click up here on the three hamburgers here, or the hamburger menu, and that will collapse the course menu, and it'll give you more space to work with. So where I've highlighted in green, I could click here, 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 here. All of that will take me to Turnitin, and it will open up the submission studio, or not submission studio, the feedback studio, excuse me. They just changed the name of it. So the feedback studio, I was in there last night, and I was like, whoa, this is really, really cool. It's a layered version of SpeedGrader, if you will, that includes quick marks, annotation tools, a tool for audio commenting, the Turnitin rubric system. It'll give you the originality info, where the source was from. It'll highlight the matching part from the source. In this case, it's the Gettysburg Address, so everything was matching. And it also gives you the ability to create custom comments that you might use to, feedback comments that you might give to your students a lot. It not only saves it in the class, it saves it throughout Turnitin. So you can use those from class to class. And best of all, you can do your grading in here and put the score right up here. And that score will automatically transfer to the Canvas Gradebook. If you don't want to use Feedback Studio, that's fine. You could also go right to SpeedGrader, and you'll see the assignment right in SpeedGrader, and you can use that as well. You'll also see in your gradebook the Turnitin originality color code, and you can see red is a lot of matches, green not very much, and I think like blue is in between or something like that. But if you were to click on that, that would also give you more information, and then there'd be a link there to go to Feedback Studio and investigate more. And then you would also see the score in here as you graded from Feedback Studio, or you can put a score right in here to override anything. So that is a quick overview of how this all works. And I want to point out some really good and useful, helpful resources, because This video isn't nearly long enough to explain all the options. The best premier source for all things Turnitin in Canvas is a document created in the Canvas community by Dallas Hulsey. Most of this information was in big part to Dallas's work over in the Canvas community. So make sure you check that out. There's also some links to Canvas guides here. There's definitely Turnitin quick start guides here. And then I also made one other video from the student perspective. How does the student turn it in, and what does it look like even using a Google Doc? So if you haven't seen that, that's a link to the YouTube video right there. So hopefully this helps clear things up, and I hope you have a great school year using this tool. And there's lots to explore, lots to learn together. And let me know how you like this, and have a great year.